Subway subs are pretty lackluster. Compared to Jersey Mike's and Jimmy John's, I'd say Subway lands around the bottom. And that just swings the doors wide open for someone like me to make it better. Sub roll from scratch, homemade meatballs, homemade tomato sauce. Combine those three things together and you already got Subway beat. The Subway Meatball Sub. Let's turn up the heat. A good sandwich has to start with the bread. 1 1/4 cups of water, tablespoon of sugar, teaspoon of instant yeast, 3 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of salt, add the rest of your flour, 2 tablespoons of lard, I'm using bacon fat. Mix this together until a shaggy ball forms. Toss it onto a floured work surface and start kneading. Get yourself a greased bowl, toss your dough ball in. Get a warm damp cloth and cover this until doubled in size. For the meatballs, 1 pound of ground beef, 1/2 pound of pork, tablespoon of oregano, teaspoon of fennel seeds, 1/2 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 2 eggs, and a 1/3 cup of parmesan. Give this a good mix. 3/4 cups of panko breadcrumbs, about a teaspoon of salt. Your large meatball should have a decent amount of spring to it, almost like a bouncy ball. Take 5 finger pinches from your big meatball to make little ones. Give them a nice shape, and they should all be perfect little balls like this. Pan on medium heat, 1/2 cup of olive oil, and a tablespoon of bacon fat. Take your balls and drop them in. The objective is to brown your balls. These don't have to be fully cooked, they're gonna finish in the sauce. After your dough has doubled in size, punch it down, shape it into a log, set it on a baking pan, cover this back up for about 30 minutes. Flip each ball. The bottom side should be nice and brown. This is what you're looking for. Let these go about 5 more minutes on the other side. For the sauce, 6 garlic cloves. Take your meatballs and set them on the side. Take your garlic and go straight into the pan. Once the garlic is fragrant and aromatic, take 28 ounces of crushed tomato and toss it in the pan. Take about a tablespoon of fresh basil. Add a couple tablespoons of salt, toss your meatballs back in, roll them around, get them covered, let this come up to a simmer, and let the meatballs finish in the sauce. Now that your big beast is ready, rapidly get about 1 inch of water boiling. Take your big beast, stick them in the oven, take your boiling water, stick it right underneath. Mist in the oven. Let that steam bake for around 8 minutes. Quickly remove the pan after 8 minutes. And let this continue cooking at 400 degrees for the next 20 to 25 minutes or until golden brown. Once out of the oven, cut off both sides. Now we're going to cut it in half. There it is, the crumb. Wow, look at that. Cut it in half, peel it open. Place your meatballs on the sub, hit it with some mozzarella cheese. Place this in the broiler setting of your oven until golden brown. Once it's nice and toasty, top it with some fresh basil, a little more sauce. This is one hell of a meatball sub. Let's get right into it. This, my friends, is a perfect sandwich. The meatball sub alone, I hold on a pedestal above all sandwiches, and this takes the cake for meatball subs. It's an amazing loaf of bread with perfect balls, and a tomato sauce that complements them both. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big fat thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below. And until next time, peace.